Hey, if you've got 10 minutes, I would love to tell you the news. So put this phone down, go let this video play, go do like the dishes or something you've been putting off, and I'll give you the news of the day. Not in a way that's going to feel stressful. Maybe you've been putting off listening to the news because it is very understandably overwhelming. That is not the point of the show. The show is to just let you know what's going on, and then we'll go from there. So there we go. Without further ado, here's what's happening for Tuesday, June 18th. National Sushi Day. Are you kidding me? I am very on board with this. I am perhaps more on board for this day than I have been for like any other day in all the days that I have ever seen. National Sushi Day. What a delight. And now the news. Big day for news. Starting with the U.S. Surgeon General announced that there should be warning labels on social media platforms, advising parents that the platforms could damage our youth's mental health. Now, the good doctor cannot require them. That would have to happen in Congress, but calling out the dangers of social media, that matters. Unless you follow me, then we're good. Dr. Murthy noted that the need for warning labels, a la cigarettes and alcohol, stems from the fact that these companies are not doing anything about it, saying, quote, "I don't think we can solely rely on the hope that the platforms can fix this problem on their own. They've had 20 years. Yeah, no, for sure. We cannot count on a company that makes billions of dollars from having large numbers of users to do something that might mean like fewer users and therefore fewer dollars. Especially because Adam Kovakovich, the chief executive of the tech lobbying firm Chamber of Progress, said this, quote, "Legally speaking, it's no different from a Trump administration Surgeon General declaring that there needs to be a warning label on mainstream media because he deems it to be fake news. It's all the same abuse of government's power to infringe on speech." You know, not everything is like something else. The Trump administration saying that mainstream news is fake news because they got their feelings hurt that people didn't like that instead of going to therapy because his dad didn't love him, Trump separated kids from families and put them in cages, is not the same thing as a study that says that social media is detrimental to a mentally and socially developing brain. Those two things are different. Anyway, the point is, warning label or not, be careful out there on social media. Unless you follow me. Then we're good. Maryland's Governor Wes Moore announced on Monday that his office is going to pardon more than 175,000 marijuana convictions, calling it, quote, "the most sweeping state-level pardon in any state in American history," before adding, quote, "We cannot celebrate the benefits of legislation if we do not address the consequences of criminalization." I have nothing more to add to this story. I have no notes. This is just some good governing. And from good governing to what's going on out there? New Jersey. What's going on out there? Because a powerful Democratic political figure in the state was indicted on Monday on racketeering and related charges. And no, I'm not talking about Senator Bob Menendez, who kept literal gold bars in a jacket that we know is his because it was embroidered with his name on it. No, instead, I'm talking about George Norcross III, a sort of Democratic king or queen maker who, it turns out, allegedly, used extortion to promote his political and philanthropic empire, with which he illegally secured hundreds of millions of dollars in tax credits and development rights. So that's not great. New Jersey, home to my best friend, Rook Coffee, and political corruption that is vast and frankly unsurprising. Just a quick update here to remind you about how incredibly popular this show is. 1 week after being found guilty on gun charges, Hunter Biden filed for a new trial before quickly rescinding the request. As a reminder, I did mention last week that he should not ask for a new trial. Just, you got found guilty. That's the end of it. I think in this case, that should be the end of it, you know? So thanks for smashing that subscribe button there, Hunter. It's getting hot in here, so regret every time you turned on the air conditioning with the windows open. because the National Weather Service is warning that a heat dome is out to break records in cities all over the Northeast, with temperatures so intense that, quote, the longevity of dangerous heat forecasted has not been experienced in decades. Decades. Cities in Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and Massachusetts will see, quote, rare and or long-duration extreme heat with little to no overnight relief. This story is how I learned that heat is the leading cause of weather-related deaths in the country. So stay indoors whenever possible, stay hydrated at all times, and wear sunscreen no matter what. Please. And that just feels like good lessons no matter what, Stay inside. Inside is better. Often, outside is expensive. A new Title IX rule that would expand civil rights protections for our LGBTQIA youth from the Biden administration hit a snag on Monday when a federal judge in Kentucky called it, quote, arbitrary in the truest sense of the word, before granting a preliminary injunction in Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia. Arbitrary in the truest sense of the word. First of all, it's Pride Month. Also, more seriously, our LGBTQIA youth are dying. There is nothing, not one single thing, that is arbitrary about protecting them. The reason for the injunction, per the judge, is that Title IX was meant to level the playing field between men and women in education, but redefining sex to include gender identity makes it, quote, not only impossible to square with Title IX, but with the broader guarantee of education protection for all students. The judge also noted that he believes that the new rule includes some, quote, serious First Amendment implications, writing, quote, based on the pervasive nature of pronoun usage in everyday life, educators likely would be required to use students' preferred pronouns regardless of whether doing so conflicts with the educator's religious or moral beliefs. A rule that compels speech and engages in such viewpoint discrimination is impermissible. First of all, if you don't know what a pronoun is, you don't get to use it to cause harm. Pervasive name. Everybody has pronouns. It's Pride Month. I will be talking more about this on today's Substack, but let me just say this. This is an absurd ruling. First of all, you were asked to rule on Title IX, so keep the First Amendment out your mouth, especially because you clearly don't understand it. Protect a teacher's right to the First Amendment, obviously, for sure, but you don't get to protect their right to the First over a student's. Everyone has a right to the First Amendment. Also, again, it's Pride Month. Instead of these injunctions, we need to be working on ways to evolve the language of the law to match the reality of the world. Also, I'm begging you, please, learn what a pronoun is. For example, your pronoun may be he/him/binkus. And that's it. That's the news. Hey, as always, I am proud of our LGBTQIA youth. All they want to do is live their most authentic lives, and we should let them do that. Also, sushi. I'm not as proud. Not as proud. It's a different level of proud. But this show follows a format. So, more than sushi, because you are also raw and cool. I'm proud of you.